Whether you like it or not, Peter Obi remains the most respected, the most prudent politician in the Nigeria of today. In fact, in this century, Peter Obi remains the most credible politician that the youth of Nigeria and Nigerians can relate with. Yes, Peter Obi's silence in the last days over the designation that was made by the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, that Nigeria is now a country of particular concern, CPC. Peter Obi has been very silent because the man Obi has been very busy moving from place to place, delivering lectures. 3 or 4 days ago, he was in Abuja for Sahel Food System Changemakers Conference, that of 2025, delivering lectures. And afterwards, Peter Obi was traveling from one school to another because he loves education so much, as well as traveling to so many nursing schools, donating millions of naira like he used to do. At this point, it is safe to say that a greater part of Peter Obi's treasury goes for charity, especially through schools and to nursing schools and secondary and primary schools, as well as even universities. So the man Obi has been very busy. And thus, his silence over the declaration that was made by Donald J. Trump has given APC and APC supporters sleepless night. APC media warriors and warlords have been waiting for Peter Obi tirelessly. They were getting frustrated that one of them, Reno Omokri, whom the media now refers to as the propaganda minister, allegedly, had to voice out, saying that Nigeria must not forget Peter Obi's silence over the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Make we read what Reno Omokri talk. So, out of frustration, Reno Omokri wrote this: Nigeria and Nigerians must never forget the loud silence of Peter Obi during this time of crisis of our dear nation. No good leader ever goes under when the sound of thunder threatens his nation, except such a person was the one who pointed the finger in the first place. His silence is very pregnant with meaning, collusion, and approval. A man who has an opinion on everything suddenly goes quiet. That is a more suspicious and inauspicious silence. Reno Omokri. One of the problems I had with Reno Omokri that made him to block me on his X handle, formerly Twitter, was because I was pointing out his lies, matching him with facts and figures. And then people were dragging him left, right, and center. Then he blocked me because he doesn't want to see or hear the truth. Now he has pointed out another lies. He's trying to say that it is either Peter Obi is part of the people that went to tell Donald Trump about Christian genocide in Nigeria, or that Peter Obi is conniving or colluding with the government of the United States of America to punish the government of Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He says that there is a great problem in our dear country, in our dear nation. Suddenly, you are calling it our dear nation. Suddenly, you are talking about people who colluded or people who are colliding, forgetting that it is the same master strategist Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with the late General Muhammadu Buhari, Rotimi Amechi, and some others. They went to American mission in Nigeria to report Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. They even manifested their intention through the posts they made on several social media handles that Christians were being slaughtered in Nigeria. American government were taking those records all these years. They are the same people who are the architects of their own problem. And today, you want to now twist the whole narrative to make some gullible, uneducated, poor Nigerians who no get voice to begin to dislike Peter Obi, to talk, say Peter Obi, because he kept silent, say that Peter Obi, now they collide with Donald Trump to come and destabilize Nigeria. These are always some of the lies that is always coming from the pit of hell, from somebody like Reno Omokri, whom the media now calls allegedly the propaganda minister. But eventually, Peter Obi has broken the silence because, like I said, Peter Obi has been very busy and he has responded to that very declaration by Donald J. Trump. And I can tell you, Peter Obi remains the most credible, the most diplomatic. He's too far ahead of Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all these petty politicians. I will read Peter Obi's response to that very declaration. Well crafted. When you talk about a man who is of class, talk about Peter Obi. When you talk about diplomacy, think about Peter Obi. Peter Obi has given them the response that suits the narrative and the Nigeria of today. Everybody go cry their own cry. Make una listen to Peter Obi's submission. So according to Peter Obi, he wrote, the recent pronouncement by the US government declaring Nigeria a country of particular concern, CPC, and indicating possible military action should give every well-meaning Nigeria serious concern. There is no doubt that Nigeria is experiencing an unprecedented level of insecurity with attendant damage and the most shocking loss of lives and property. According to Amnesty International, over 10,000 people have been killed in Nigeria since May 2023. And as I have repeatedly lamented, the unwarranted and unprovoked killing of Nigerians is most condemnable, and all effort must be made to bring it to a stop. It is equally important to state that the terrible situation is significantly avoidable with competent leadership and governance. While the insecurity did not start with the present government, what is most unfortunate is the lack and absence of competence, commitment, prudent use of resources, patriotism and passion of the part of APC-led government or leaders to effectively govern, galvanize and lead Nigeria where no one is unwarrantedly oppressed and killed. A nation where peace, truth and justice reign. As democracies, Nigeria and the US have long been strategic partners committed to regional peace and security. That relationship should not falter. The present situation calls for constructive, diplomatic, and any other plausible engagement by both nations aimed at addressing the prevailing and disturbing security concerns. Both countries must work in concert and expeditiously towards that purpose. Peter Obi. We can simplify what Peter Obi has written here to be, highly or very logical, intellectually galvanized submission cum diplomatic utterances. Peter Obi has always maintained that if he must answer His Excellency in this country, Nigeria, that the process that brings you into office must be excellent. He made that statement since 2023. And that is why many of us are following his footsteps. That is why we believe today in rule of law, due process, justice, equity, and fairness in the Nigeria of today. He is a credible man, a man who has been living the life he preaches. So APC has been waiting for him to make one or two statements with which they will use to crucify him. But little did they know that Peter Obi has been way, intellectually ahead of all of them. Both academically, both in character, both in credibility and in competence. And that is exactly what Peter Obi has just displayed in that very submission he made concerning the CPC designation of our dear country, Nigeria. Meanwhile, another developing story, a United States of American politician, Reno Omo, who is currently the United States of American representative for West Virginia at the 2nd Congressional District. This United States of American politician has just slammed Rabiu Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State, who responded to the CPC designation by Donald Trump by saying that United States of America should use a cutting-edge technology to collaborate and help Nigeria to fight insecurity instead of making a threat to invade Nigeria. This American representative reminded Honorable Rabiu Kwankwaso of a few things that happened in the past in a very subtle way. He said, "Do you care to comment about your complicity in the death, in the dying of many Christians in Nigeria?" It is very obvious that this American representative, Reno Omo, made this statement owing to the fact that in November the year 2000, that Rabiu Kwankwaso, as the then governor of Kano State, signed the Sharia Penal Code bill into law. And many of you understand what that means. Such that if you talk anyhow and they consider it as blasphemy, you know what will happen next. They go chop you alive. So by implication, this American representative has just given Nigeria and Nigerians a hint that possibly that Honorable Rabiu Kwankwaso would possibly be among the 12 names of governors from Nigeria whose names are currently being compiled at the State House in the United States of America as people who have been pushing Sharia laws and blasphemy laws and other initiatives that promote the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. More so, for those of you who never still understand why so many people they celebrate Donald Trump. Why so many people they support Donald Trump? They support and they tell us, say, make he carry American soldiers enter Nigeria. Make on watch this video.
You are in support of America invading Nigeria. 100%. Guns are blazing.
I said 100%. Since the government has refused to listen and leaders are not even helping matters.
Wouldn't that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria? That's the question I'm asking.
You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do, and leaders are supporting it in Moses. That will be my annoyance. Why would anybody utter such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them into Nigeria? Was Nigeria like this in 1999? Moses, please be sincere to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in the Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa? You can see, we forgot the genesis of our problem and we are blaming America. Let them come. If that will solve the problem. Since you people don't know what to do, let them come and help us. Look at now, as I'm talking to you now, almost 20 villages have been taken over in Plateau and Benue. Moses, who are those to occupy those villages? Are they Christians? The real indigenous of those states are now in IDP camp, and they are the farmers in Nigeria. Can you beat that?
I saw this very post on the social media where somebody was saying that Donald Trump self go even shock. Person will threaten a country. The citizens of that country can't come in his inbox. His handle can't they thank him. That will explain to you how bad the situation is. How much hope the youth of this country, Nigeria, have lost in our political office holders. There is no better way to explain it. That is exactly the play out, what is happening today. You know what I mean? With or without implications for American soldiers to come into Nigeria, so many Nigerians don't care, especially the young people. Somebody was telling me, so long that I can comfortably walk freely in my village, happily, without any problem, I support America to come to Nigeria. Telling you that people are living in fear in Nigeria. It is not just hunger and suffering alone, but people fear for their lives on a daily basis. Well, anyways, at this point, the situation is getting intensified because Canadian government has also joined forces with the American government, lending their voice alongside with Donald Trump to condemn what is currently going on in Nigeria, the Christian persecution in Nigeria. So the onus is on Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu to rise up to the challenges as he claimed to be a master strategist, to do what is necessary as a master strategist and save Nigeria. Otherwise, the heat where they come out now from what is currently boiling, he did too much. At this point, I'll allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. Man, another person see him. God bless you.